Hello and welcome to another video. So I'm restarting my program of how much power do you actually need. I did this last year and then it failed after a few months, not realising that the problem actually was nothing to do with the power of the Pi. It was actually a cable that I was using, but I didn't know that until quite recently. So I'm going to start this whole thing again. So today I'm going to show you how to maintain a Onion website. Now I'm not going to show you how to build it and show you all the code. There is a very good video by a guy called Chuck Network or Network Chuck or somebody, I can't remember, and you go through all that process. I'll link it in the description and you can follow that. This is the second time that I've done this video because I've just realised that my Onion Pi battery had died. So now I'm actually just using a power bank to power it. Not ideal, but it's good enough for this purpose. So so I have a few stipulations about what you need. So there are some very simple software, some pieces of software that you're going to need to run this. So obviously you don't need screen recorder, but the first thing you're going to need is go to Pi Apps. Okay, so if you go to Pi Apps and you can copy that code, and then it will give you. If you go, am I even in the right one? No, I want that. No, I don't want that one. That's my audio one. So paste that there. I'm not going to do it because I've already got Pi Apps installed, so it's going to be no advantage to me. So you'll need that. And then you'll need Pro FTP. So if you just do, I'm not going to, I will list all the software that you need, but Pro FTP, which is a really simple protocol to install that. It doesn't take very long. It takes a few minutes. And then that'll give you FTP to all of your Pis. So the three sets of rules that I have for running for this particular program is firstly, it exists, I can't spell exists, sorry, exists only in the Piverse. Not Pouniverse, Piverse, Pi Universe. I still can't spell exist. Pi Universe. So second one is I'm using some Wi-Fi from a mobile, so it can be anywhere. So I'm not tied to a home. So it's all. It's a GIF dongle connecting to the GIFGAF network or the O2 network, I actually think it is. And then thirdly, it's all battery powered. So all of it in its entirety. So I'm using 3 Pis. So the one I'm using now, which I'm going to show you, I've just taken a picture. So on that picture, you'll see our detail to what each of them doing. So the Pi 400, which is 4 gig, overclocked to 2000 megahertz, no gigahertz, I think. Kilohertz, not gigahertz. That was like a faux pas. So that's going to be doing all of the control and the line share. So the audio that you're hearing is recorded on a Pi 3B Plus, and then the Onion website is being hosted on a 3B, which is directly connected to the dongle via a lead. So I think the other two are connected via Wi-Fi. So anyway, so let's get started. So the first thing you're going to do is, if you haven't already, download yourself a copy of GIMP, which I once I made the transition and got over the snobbery, I absolutely love this program. It's quite possibly my favourite, and I've just realised that I've just tried to load it and I've already got it open. Right, so first thing I'm going to do is going to create a heading. So I've already got, if you follow the no, I don't want to do it that way. Yes, I do. So if you already follow the tutorial, Chuck Network Chuck, or whatever it's called, tutorial, then you should already have a website up and running. Very basic, nothing, just a couple of headings, which we'll take a look at in a second. But first thing I want to do is just going to create a very basic header. So, and we're just going to call this deep web. Oh, not deep we. No. Deep weed, that's even worse. Deep web page. Yeah, should we call that that? Deep web page. Just going to make that. Now, because I've already practiced this earlier, I'm going to. Right. No, so let's double that, shall we? So let's try 300 and see what happens there. No, too big. Oh dear. Right, so let's try 250. Let's try that. Let's see what I can do with that. Oh, okay, I'm going to go with that actually. So, thing is, I'm used to using a much bigger Linux machine. I've kind of spoilt myself a little bit here. I'm sorry I say bigger, faster. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to change the scale of that because I think that's too big as a file. So I'm going to drop that down to say, let's say 700 pixels. Scale that down. Right, then I'm going to export it, which is Control E, and I've already done one earlier, but I'm going to just call that web. Okay, web PNG, and export it there. Okay, just follow that. There we go. Right, I don't want to save it because it's a nonsense. Okay, I'm going to close that down because I don't need that. I want to have as much computer power as I can. Right, so the next thing we're going to do is we are going to connect via FTP. So if you find FileZilla, and have I got already? I've got one here already. So I do believe mine is connected to that. So go through your protocol of setting up. There we go. Right. So go to your folder that you've stored it in, which I know mine's in there. Then I'm going to drag that across to my server, which I know is there. So I can shut that down. Because when I created this server, I've basically made it entirely of there's no desktop environment, it's all through the command line. So I'm going to connect via SSH, type in my password, and then let's just clear that so you can see it actually, and then do right. So let's do an LS and we see that's there. Fantastic. And now what you need to do, which I've only just discovered this quite recently, which I'm sure every other Pi user is going to go, what a fool, how did you not know this after the years of Pi you're using? So I log in as the root, and then it's there, right? So what I then need to do is I can copy that picture. So this I can copy that picture to the folder. So the folder, actually, let's just come out of that. Actually, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I can change directory to var/www.html. Okay, and then that's where that's housed. Now I've already got a folder, img. So let's change that to img, and then you can see that's where I'm going to store my images. Now I can do, let's do a sudo rm, what have I called it? dw.png. Right, so that folder is now empty. I'm going to change that back there. Okay, so we know there's nothing in there. I'm going to go into the root folder, type in my password, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy my folder, copy that picture, sorry, from the folder which I know is home / I'm not sure I need to do it. Hane / what do I call it, web.png, and I want to copy that to var/www./html/img. So then I want to exit out of that, and then I'll change directory to var/www.html/img. No, img, sorry, and I'm just doing ls, then it's in there, which is excellent. So let's then I want to go back a step, and then I want to clear so we can see that, right? So before we change anything, let's go and have a look at what the website is doing right now. So let's load up the Tor browser. All right, I'm at 94% on my charger. So this is good thing, because the thing about working with the Tor browser is it takes quite a long time because it's got to go through different routers and routers and all of that, and it takes before it gets to you. Now I think I've said this before, appreciate that we're not going to do anything nefarious. The idea is for this to be fun, and that's it. So we're not going to buy anything illegal or sell anything illegal or do anything that would be considered morally inappropriate or incorrect. So right, so the first thing we're going to do now is we're going to edit that page. So we're going to do sudo nano, which is my basic one that I do. The file we know is called index.html, which I now can't spell for some reason. Now I'm here with you, I can't spell. Right, so that's the folder. Right, so that's what we're looking at in terms of code. Right, so what I want to do now is I want to include that thing that we've just done. Image source, which is the HTML code. Brackets, image is the folder. The file is called web. And the file type is PNG. Right, so now I've typed in that. That's back. Let's do a reload on that page. And there we go. We've transferred it over via a different computer to that. So we could just do a few other things just to make it a bit more interesting. So let's just say where only nice. Oh, I can't spell. I really can't. Struggling with noise. I hate that word. Nice things happen. So I'm going to write something silly. So even though the address is incredibly long. I think I've spelled that right. I don't care actually, to be honest with you at this point. So definitely spelled that wrong. I don't care. So that's it, I think. I mean, you can do all sorts of things. So I mean, one last thing is I can put in HR equals HR width. Sorry, my bad. HR width equals. Let's just call that. What did I say? 700, wasn't it? 700 px. Yes. Reload. Oh, okay. Yeah. So. Then, if you're wondering what I've just done there, I've just put in a horizontal rule, which I think I need to do an align equals left to make that happen. I think. Oh, I have. There we go. Right. So some of that, half of that was HTML5 code, and some of it's kind of where. So not really. So one last thing, I think, just one before we go, and I just want to do one more. Then I'm going to put in another HR align equals left, and then a width equals let's say 500 px x. Oops. And then okay, that's not worked. I'm not sure what I've done. I know I've done something wrong there. I'm sure other keys align left. Oh no, it is there. It just took a long time to appear. I think I could want to make that even smaller, actually, to be honest. Let's make that 450. So this is basically how you build an incredibly basic deep web page. So I hope this was useful to you. Let's log out of that. Clear and exit again. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this was okay. If you've got any comments that you would like to add to that, any other HTML tricks, let me know, and I can see if I can include them. Thank you very much.